Alright, boys, we're doing a tier list of the Transformers movies. I thought, why not with tier 1, get my standing on it, and I'm sure I'm gonna hurt some people's feelings, but this list is complete and utter fact, right? And your opinions don't matter. Alright, let's get into it. Starting off with, I guess, Prime Beast Hunters. I'm not going to rank this, okay, just on the basis I have not watched it. And I know, alright, so we're already starting off great. Let's start off with, how about easy pickings 1986 movie. This is goated. You can say G1 fan or you want G1. You can say is goated. All right. From the introduction of Unicron to being the first Transformers the movie, to the death of Optimus, I guess spoiler warning, to the death of Optimus, to the reincarnation from Megatron's fall to Galvatron, to the Seekers, not the Seekers, the Sweeps, Susclonus, Cyclonus. Right. Orson Welles' performance as Unicron is absolutely legendary. Rest in peace, his soul. Right. From the adventures of, I guess, Hot Rod and his like ascension to a prime with the Matrix and Cup, along with the featuring of the Dinobots, their little adventure, and Wheelie, traveling to Quintessa and seeing the Quintessons, guilty verdict, classic scene, the Shucticons, and then when the Dinobots come in, New World Order, the prison. Obviously, we get to see Unicron absolutely munch a planet. That's where we get to see I can't remember his name. The guy that obviously Cup and Hot Rod see in the cells of the Quintessa. He's the last remaining survivor. He exposed them about like who is Unicron, blah blah blah. And in the beginning of the movie, we get to see the fall of Autobot City, one of the last great fucking battles of like the Earth saga. Right, the entire movie is the climactic event of the entire season 1 of G1, right? The amount of sheer deaths and just dark, gritty, like visceral action we get in this is just uncontested, bar like maybe some of the excessive stuff in like the Bayverse movies. I mean, Ironhide he gets executed, bro. That's foul, bro. Along with like Ratchet and like a whole other heap load of characters. Got like some cool clips out of Blur, Preceptor, like, I mean, if we're factoring like cut content, the cut content is pretty cool. Like the overall story, and then the Junkions, the ships traveling into Unicron transforms, tries to squish Cybertron. To see Shockwave on Cybertron, the Mobilize, that entire end scene battle. Obviously, the Matrix lighting the darkest hour, super cool. I mean, need more be said. You can say G1 all you want, but the amount this movie did, and obviously we got cool RC, we got like okay, I'm not sipping. Anyway, moving it on, go to the movie, classic time told, built the foundation for what any movie follow. I mean, it built the foundation of, I guess, Prime dying and reviving, I get the tradition at this point. I mean, obviously, Prime died so they could hook in new toys. Obviously, the entire premise of all the characters dying was so that Hasbro could move in new toys, but then everyone sent him fan mail because everyone got angry and started crying because Prime died and they had to bring him back. So, anyway, that movie is goated and gets solidified on there based off like OG representation. I don't need to say anymore. You guys know. You can disagree all you want, but again, this list is pure fact. I don't care. I know you guys are just waiting for this. We'll get to this. Let's start it off with this is going to tilt some people. The Last Night. Yeah, that's just going in D, boys. I don't need more to be said. There's some cool stuff in this movie. I know everyone hates it just to hate's sake. Honestly, I could probably move it up, but I think D, because putting it middle of the road isn't fair, because like it's just an absolute hodgepodge, and we got absolutely scammed out of the ending. Again, I'm factoring these movies not just on their own merits, but also the continuities and the storyline they were meant and in which they follow. Last Night is just extremely hard to follow, first off, and then second, it just kind of like it leaves us with the cliffhanger of obviously Unicron and Quintessa, but at the same time, it is like the true end of the Bayverse continuity. Because again, like screw it, we'll rank 07 solid like B tier. Like it's the start of the Bayverse. It's like not insanely special. Like, it's not completely peak. I think something like Dark of the Moon is better. And, like, but for it starting off the trilogy, it's going to have a lot of the same reasons I give TF1, was solid B tier, where like obviously we get Sam and Megan. That entire like start off is like it's the build up for what we get, and then you can see something with like Revenge of the Fallen builds upon it even better. I know some people have their problems with that. I'm going to put that in solid B tier again because it follows that trilogy. And again, moving on to Dark of the Moon, that trilogy is just okay, look, I know that obviously Megan is not in the third movie and it should have been her with Sam, but it's like, or I guess Michaela. I keep getting confused, but like that entire set, if we discount that out of like the the movie, this trilogy was pretty goated. This was pretty solid, great to follow, great integration with like our like real life history. Dark of the Moon, obviously like Soviet Chernobyl, right, and the race to the moon, right? That's super cool. This entire trilogy was just really solid, to be honest, besides like the ending of this and like the swap out of characters. But overall, if you discount this was great as an overall trilogy package, and that's why I have to put them together. But it's why I put Last Night lower, because it's just Cade and whoever this is, I forget her name. It's like there's some cool stuff with Contessa and the setup for Unicron, but we never got that. It was fumbled. And then this was never hit. It was never meant to happen at this point. We all know Bay just wanted to do these 3 films. And it was just unfortunate they couldn't get Megan to cast for Michaela at the last one. Whatever reason that was, I think it was something to do with like Michaela did not like how she was getting treated. Not Michaela, Megan was not like... It was something to do with that, blah, blah. Anyway, we don't want to cover that. That's why I put this low. And I think anyone can agree with that. Maybe Reaper's not going to like this. I put this that low. But anyway, moving onwards, I guess, for Age of Extinction, this suffers from the same problem. I don't know if this is worse or better. I kind of want to put this in C tier. Just because, like... Dinobots. As bad as that is to say, like, Dinobots are pretty cool. I know we got the Knights in Last Night, but it's like... Dinobots in this was pretty damn cool. But then again, we got like the Chinese propaganda in it. It's just, I don't know. You know what, to be fair, I'll probably just put this in both. Because we got some cool stuff out of Last Night. We got like Hot Rod. That was pretty cool. For as like nerdy as it was, annoying as it was, pretty cool. I think I'll put these together because they kind of go off each other, to be honest. I mean, it's both Cade, so I think that's fair to latch them there. Maybe I could do C. I don't know, like Chinese propaganda, and it's just annoying. We got no ending to this properly. I know Lorenzo is trying to like he's trying to link in Rise of the Beast into this or like something, or Bayverse. I don't know what he's doing with that, bro. It's just such a headache. It's so annoying. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just trying to latch. That's an entire separate rant anyway. I guess Rise of the Beasts, that's an E tier, bro. That is complete. I know some people are going to be somewhat mad about that. We all knew what this film was meant to be. 200 mil for this. This was straight garbage. Unicron was like promoted so heavily and basically did an absolute nothing burger in the film. The plot was almost like non-existent, right? And then on top of that, like the whole like the explanation to the Maximals being there, and then it's like there's no Predacons, and it's just like there's no Decepticons. It's just Scourge as a herald of Unicron, and Unicron basically does nothing, and it's just Scourge. What? Like what? And a couple of others. It's like what? No, it's just like super weak. I'm sorry to say. Like honestly, Last Night. And like Age of Extinction, at least there was the Decepticons there. Like at least there was something there. Like Scourge was honestly the fan theories. If you remember when Rise of the Beast was coming out, fan theories was that Scourge was Nemesis Prime or Evil Optimus. That's so much cooler than what we ended up getting as just like some 2D like not like nothing burger of a character. He would like absolutely like decimate. Spoiler warning, I guess. He decimated Optimus right at the start. And then for some reason Optimus just turns and starts dunking on him right at the end. For what? The weird like hitching with Jazz and whoever the main character was. I can't even remember. Need more be said at this point. Jazz is meant to be like Optimus's second, like his right hand. What? Why did Jazz... Bro, why did he just nonchalantly pick up a human? He's so like lack of care. This is something you would expect, like, from, like, oh, like I like Bumblebee at like the start of '07. Like he makes so much sense how he picks up Sam and everything. How whoever picks up, how I guess Prowl picks up, not Prowl, Jazz. Oh my god, I'm actually cooked like trying to explain whatever this was, and then of course we got the classic Monkey Prime out of it, which was pretty cool, and his Monkey Prime, and then we got Hawk-Tor Robot now. Oh god, that's gonna tilt so many people watching this. It's just like outside of the end scene battle, there was again like cut content. There was some cool stuff. Nah, it just doesn't make any sense. And how Lorenzo absolutely butchered the marketing and like the locking into Bayverse or whatever he was trying to do, which he does with that, is just disgusting. It was just bad, bro. Honestly, it was just bad. And like honestly, for like people have seen people complaining about TF1 being blurry. No, this was 100% more blurry. And it probably is worse. Like this was more blurry. And I watched it in theater and digital release and it's still blurry. It's just because the budget was lower and it was live action. So it made it hurt more but due to the live action level of detail. Had some cool transformations. It had some cool music. Had some cool fight scenes. But like the relation to Optimus and like Jazz, RC was goated. We're not simping here, boys, but like RC was goated. Hawk-Tor Robot, I don't know why she didn't transform. Did Eraser not transform? I literally barely remember. Maybe I'll have to give it a rewatch and like maybe I'm shitting on it just like too hard. But like I have no need to. And then need we touch on the music selection? I'm saying this as an avid hip hop fan for like over a decade at this point. It did not fit. I can say that as an actual hip hop fan, it did not fit. And I think everyone can agree, whether you like hip hop or not, it did not fit. Just it didn't, right? Plain up. That did not help its choice. Though, like, as I touched on like the musical stores, I thought some of them were right. But again, I'm a hip hop fan, so I didn't particularly mind it. But like, if I'm discounting that out of it, it did not fit at all. Did not help the movie in any regards. And need we say less on what Lorenzo was trying to push the movie as? Need more be said. I'm not going to touch on that. With that being said, Bumblebee is an interesting one. Because the first 5 minutes are S tier. I think we can all agree the Cybertron scene, if that was the entire movie, it'd be like triple S tier, right? Like we're hitting triple S tier plus Virgil level of God status, right, for that. But the rest of the movie, I didn't mind John Cena in it. I didn't mind the female lead. She was pretty cool. Like she was relatable, like quite well. But again, I'm not the biggest fan of human character integration anyway. Like, I know that's ironic because I put 1986 movie, but there's many reasons for that, but like, I didn't mind it too bad, but like, there's no trilogy to hitch off. I know it's meant to be like in line with like before the events of '07, but at the same time, I'm not exactly 100% sure if that's how it's meant to link in. And again, it serves as more of a standalone movie, again, because it's a Bumblebee movie, the Bumblebee movie. It's meant to just be off B, and B like gets, I don't want to say he gets too much, like he's too much of a popular character, but like he's kind of the Pikachu of the Transformers. You know what I mean? Like he's just like everyone knows him. He's become that. And it's like, I would have rather like give me a Starscream movie or something. That would have been interesting. But again, that wouldn't have worked within Bayverse or whatever. Maybe it could have. I don't know. Like, I don't know. See, the reason I put B tier and I'm hesitant to put it up here because I'm like, this is an entire like proper trilogy, discounting like the end. But like, you know what I mean? Like this is a nice trilogy. This works well. It's extended. This is kind of just its own thing and it's got nothing really to work off unless you're trying to pull it into this entire continuity itself. And it's like, I don't know how much I cared for like the rest of the movie. I've rewatched it multiple times. There's nothing that inherently grabs me outside of the Cybertron scene. And then when, like, I guess, spoiler warning, Cliffjumper gets absolutely decimated. Rest in peace. Like, she's relatable. And, like, the human cast is, like, relatable. I don't know, it's just... It doesn't stick to me as something I would... Like, I would gladly rewatch this trilogy over and over again. It's got some great action set pieces. Bumblebee, I feel like lacking. It's just a little bit less. It doesn't have the power of this like trilogy continuity. I know, okay, whatever it links to, it's, you know what I mean? It's, I think C tier is fair. It's not as garbage as like these because it doesn't ruin the existing continuity. It stands on its own 2 feet. and it's pretty easy to follow. It's honestly quite, like, the pacing is okay, the plot is okay to follow. It's just nothing special outside of the Cybertron scene. That's kind of why it's above these, because I can't put it down here because of the Cybertron scene. The Cybertron, like, the first 5 minutes is just so good that it bumps it up, but I don't feel like it has the power of this section here. With that being said, TF1. I'm joking. Is it S tier? I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna piss so many people off with this. I already know. You G1 fan, G1 Andy, nostalgia. I'm not putting it, but the amount of shit 1986 movie did, right? And it's so much darker. The amount of stuff in the amount of features, from Dinobots to the Junkions to Quintessa, like the planet, to Unicron transforming, to the Matrix of Leadership Arc, to Prime, Megatron dying, to Galvatron, the Seekers, like Starscream getting his, like, famous coronation, right? Like, to the fall of Autobot City, to the absolute destruction of Unicron, and obviously the Matrix becoming Rodimus Prime. That's super goated, bro. The amount of stuff, like, you can, I know rose tinted glasses, whatever, but at the same time, you can't be like honeymoon perioding with this. This is super goated, but I wanted to point this. I think if this comes, like, out, and we fully get, like, if it becomes a trilogy like this, again, that's why these, because otherwise I'd put Bumblebee with this, but because of the trilogy, I have to put this high. If this becomes a trilogy, this is going S tier, right? If it gets, like, the Great War and the Great Exodus, is going in S tier 100%. But that's why I think this is great for what it sets out to be, but it is the starter of a trilogy. Because otherwise, if you were just marking this on its own, honestly, I'd put it down here. I put the beginning movie because honestly, I prefer Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. I feel like they've got better story integration with, like, their... Again, they work great as a pair, but these two I feel like are better overall. But again, that's why I'm putting this here. I think it's because it's not doing the level that 86... Because 86 crescendoed off the season 1 of the original Generation 1 film and had so much, like, just insane dark level stuff in it. Right? From just, like... And I know, obviously... Sentinel, like, spoiler warning, Sentinel obviously executes Alpha Trion. This is super good. Honestly, I kind of want to put it in here, but at the same time, I'm like, it did not do as much as 86. It didn't, but again, if this becomes a full-fledged trilogy, 100% this goes up there. Honestly, I'd probably put, like, double S tier, and if this became a trilogy, honestly, above it. Probably something more like this. But I feel like I've got to put it in A tier just because, honestly, the amount of characters that get fleshed out in this is extremely limited in comparison to, and again, that's not fair. It's not a fair comparison because 86 had the entire season 1 of Generation 1 to work off. But again, that's kind of my reasoning for it. You can say G1 all you want, but that's just facts and logic, I'm sorry to say. But this is, like, super goated for what it is. I think this is far and beyond better than anything that have, like, Bayverse. Like, that, I mean, like, need more be said. Everyone's saying this is goated. Everyone's saying this is, I know people are saying this is better than 86. I'm just going to say it's not. I'm going to be honest. I know it's going to piss people off, but I don't care. It's just straight fact. You, like, this is basically limited to D16, Megatron, B, and Alita, right? Because there's virtually nothing. It's one nitpick I had with, like, the High Guard was, like, Starscream, Shockwave, and Soundwave had basically, like, no character progression because within 20 seconds, Starscream went from being an absolute badass with, like, macho confidence to just, like, begging for, like, Megatron to hurt him or begging for D16 to just choke the life out. Kind of weird champ, but you know what I mean? Like, there was not enough fleshing out. And again, like, the Primes felt that they weren't the Primes had some, like, some exposition via, like, Alpha Trion, and, like, the Quintessons got introduced, but there was not enough backstory there to, like, again, this comes down to budget, and I'm not shitting on it, but it's like, for 70 mil, obviously all of the, like, negative things people come out with basically are nitpicking, and it can all be explained by a budget, because if you go take a look at the directors, I said this in, like, my last video, it's like, you can't realistically shit on the movie for what it doesn't have because it was meant to be included as far as we're aware. If you go see what the directors are saying and everything, like, they wanted to do stuff like Megatron or, like, D16 in the, like, the pits, like the fight pits and stuff like that. It's like, what else did they want? And then they had, like, the aerial bots in, like, the deaths area where, if you've seen the concept art, maybe I'll have it on screen. So, like, I've got to put it here for what it is because it doesn't do as much as this did if we're just speaking facts. But I think this as a trilogy and the setup potential, honestly, I want to put it here. I really, really do. But if I'm being, like, dead ass logical, I've got to put it here. But it's a high A. It's basically like bottom S tier, and it's far beyond like these, like the main Bayverse trilogy. It's far beyond that. Because like, as much as I like these, and I know a lot of people like Bayverse, I kind of saw a funny tweet on Twitter regarding this, like Bayverse fans now becoming the new G1 fans, to where they don't like TF1. They don't like the new generation. It's kind of funny, bro. Multiple generations colliding and getting older. But I think this is super good. Honestly, I want more of these. I want more of these so badly. They're so good. Like the animation, the visuals are like yeah, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. I didn't mind it, but I can understand maybe some people like they would have preferred maybe some more different design. Again, it depends whether or not you come from Bayverse, if you come from Prime, if you come from G1 or anything else. You're going to have your own personal interests and opinions. And again, that's also going to be how your outlook on the movie kind of formulates. Because for me, being like a G1 and earlier fan, I see so many G1 references. I see so many like little Easter eggs. And like we had like the Transformers movie. Oh, there was a song in it. What was it? It was like it was a song motif inside of TF1 that tunes back to a song reference inside of 1986 movie. And there's a one for one of the Bayverse films as well. There's a motif in here that ushers back and calls back to that, which is super cool. The amount of, honestly, I want to put it in S tier. I really do. But I'm like, can I put it in the same, from enjoyment? I'm like, I don't know if I could watch 1980s. I mean, I've watched it countless times. I could probably watch TF1 just as much, but to what degree? I'm like, I don't know. Especially with like, man, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's too early to call it, and maybe my opinions will change, but I think a solid A tier for me. I think if we get like a War for Cybertron, like the Great War for me, that time period is going to be up here in S tier 100%. I think that's where it lands for me. I think this is a great starter movie for a trilogy. I think if we got this selection here, we built it out, 100% going up to S tier. But again, I'm not factoring it on its own base merits. I'm factoring it off with like this trilogy, with like this building off G1. This isn't building off anything as of yet, because as far as I'm aware, it's not intertwined with Bayverse, because obviously Sentinel died. There you go. As far as I'm aware, it's not interchanging with G1 continuity, because I don't think that makes sense, though with the cut concept art, like aerial bots, maybe, perhaps, but I still don't think it makes sense with like the 50 cycle time skip from like Sentinel taking over and killing the primes. I swear to God, like G1, that time skip was meant to be like a lot more than 50 cycles, so I don't think that makes sense. Though then again, G1 has a massive like amount of continuity plot issues anyway. Regardless, this is where I'm going to end this off. This is my list. This is pure fact. Okay, I'm joking, but like, you guys know what I mean. This is my, let me know what you think in the comments. I know some people are going to be pissed that Rise the like mid pack is down here. I don't care. I'm just pissed that this movie cost 200 mil. This cost 70 mil, and this did not. I want this to be 200. Why 200 mil was spent on this and it was basically garbage. Like, it was cool seeing Maximals on there, but like Scourge was absolutely like wasted. Unicron was wasted. Prime was like kind of weird champ. Jazz was just like destroyed as like, he's not destroyed as a character, but like, it just makes no sense like why he just like randomly second in command. He's meant to be like Optimus's guy, and then he just brings a human randomly right at the last second before the event, and like the weird time warp key and like the time travel shenanigans where the Maximals were just sleeping in there, and how it's meant to be somewhat integrated into like the '07 movie, like it's meant to be like this, what is it meant to be, like this or something or whatever. That doesn't make any sense. It just pisses me off, honestly, mate. Like, maybe you could do this. I don't know, maybe that makes some other people happy, but I don't know. At least these had like the Decepticons and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Who knows? Isn't like the G.I. Joe movie Lorenzo's working on, like with the Transformers, meant to be like part of this trilogy or whatever? It's only going to make it worse. Honestly, that makes me want to put it in like even lower. Honestly, it makes it solidify that it's E tier at this point, because it's going to be garbage. I know some people like interesting. I don't care. It is what it is.